Taurus is the next sign. This is April 20th through May 20th. So I'll let everybody meditate on who they may know within that time frame. And ChatGPT's 5 most famous people, who are Taurus, Adele, George Clooney, the ever handsome George Clooney, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Stevie Wonder, and Cher.
Yeah,
Tell us about Taurus.
Wow. Okay. All right. So Taurus is our first Earth sign, and it's a fixed Earth sign. So where we came out of Aries in I am, we move into Taurus, which is I have. And so Taurus is security oriented. It's Earth. It is the determination, the follow through from Aries. So where I stopped you and I said, okay, Aries starts, but the stubbornness and determination and perseverance is Taurus domain. So Taurus is peaceful. It's ruled by Venus. It's hardworking, and it's also incredibly lazy. So here's an example where we have both sides. I like to say that, Taurus knows how to work hard and they know how to rest hard. So that the senses are what are most enhanced in Taurus. They are very sensual beings. And so food is something that provides comfort. They need that form of comfort. Money also provides a sense of comfort and security, right? Beauty provides a sense of comfort and security. Taurus are, they don't like a lot of drama, unlike Aries, which is fire. And so Taurus want to focus on what is at hand. They're loyal, they are hardworking, they're dependable, but they're not always known for their originality. So instead, Aries starts something and Taurus is like, okay, I can help you make that happen. And so they're really good with the follow through in that way.
Like best supporting actress.
Yes. Yeah, that would be a good one too because of the beauty in that. When I think about some of the people that you have listed there, first of all, Taurus rules the throat and the voice. So here we have, the beautiful Adele. And
Stevie Wonder too, and Cher,
all of them.
Yeah.
But you look at like the kind of luxury for each of them as well, and there's a different like Adele looks very Taurus and the Taurian in that she had the big voluptuousness of just what it is to be an earth goddess, and that's what we have there with that Taurus energy.
Totally. Wow. And Cher is definitely, she's always been about her body, about, again, a different type of flamboyance, and she looks expensive.
Yeah.
Cher looks expensive.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But you can feel like her groundedness. And that Taurus is very grounded.
Yeah.
Unlike Aries, that's fire and is just like out the door before it even began. Taurus is slow moving. And we talked about this in the last one with you being a Gemini, Chase, but having Mercury in Taurus, it slows the process of thinking down to something that's thorough.
Interesting. So 2 of my best friends are both Taurus.
I think
they're double Taurus.
They're both Sun and Moon Taurus.
Now these
and
2
they're married.
played a critical role in my life. They showed up for me when my life was just a pile of crap, and were such a nutrient for where I was at 27. And one of them was they were both personal trainers. One of them continued to be my personal trainer, and I felt that his support and guidance in my life, which was obviously very helpful for me physically, but also was at that moment a slowing down and a taking inventory of a type of season of my life that was so critically important. And I'm curious, what is it about my personality, or maybe it was that window of my life that found such nutrition in having these relationships with 2 Taurus individuals?
Yeah, and that's a great question that leads us to, it's a more advanced question that I'll put in there. When you're looking, so you're saying look at this Taurus energy, how it's been drawn. Is there something in my chart that would be synchronistic with that? And I mean, without looking at your chart, but knowing, because we talked about it, that your Mercury, right, is in the sign of Taurus. So the way that you were thinking and putting together the structure of your world and your philosophy and your perspective was really being grounded in that time by teachers that were reflecting back, a theory that you needed to integrate in your body, right? And Taurus is not only about talking about it, it's showing you. So the physicality of Taurus is in the body, and it's in what I have. So think about that. When we're thrust out into the world, I am everything. But what do I have? I have my value, what I value. I have my body, and I have my possessions. What's mine? So Taurus can be greedy. They can be possessive. Whatever it is that they have, they really value. It's theirs.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have as my ascendant, Taurus as my ascendant. And I feel that ever since a very young age, I've always wanted my things, whatever that was. And the first example that came into my head was when we were in elementary school, we used to have to cover our books, our textbooks. And I would make sure mine was absolutely perfect and have like something beautiful or very neat on it, where I would look at other kids and theirs would be tatty and ripped and they would be drawing all over it and craziness. And I'm like, I remember thinking, this is such a silly example, but it's back from when I was 10 years old. Remember looking at other people's things and thinking, why don't they want it to look nice? Or like I remember a friend of mine would draw on her jeans. She was probably a Pisces or an Aquarius or something, or maybe a Sagittarius, just like adventure and exploration. I'm going to see what this adventure is, and coloring on my own jeans. And I was aghast. I was like, how could you ever like color and taint your belongings that way? It's so interesting when I think back. Like, it's such a little like weird memory in my head, but it's this stuff is like baked into you.
Well, and it captures your whole chart again beautifully. But yes, so Taurus, that Taurus energy is very concerned about their stuff. And so, their stuff, mainly the things that provide some sense of safety and security, but also they are the builders. And so it's through Taurus that we build out things. So for Taurus, again, think about that. Money is something that we're constantly building on, right? Our investments, our home might be something that we are building on. Our bodies, our relation. So it's not that they don't change, even though they are considered kind of the opposite of change. It's that they take glacial changes, like very small changes.
So true.
Yeah.
And you say the funny aspect where you're like hardworking but incredibly lazy.
Yes.
As I think of these individuals in my life, they're so ritualized and regimented, and everything is like this slow build up of healthy patterns on top of healthy patterns and rituals, and every
masters of moderation too.
Totally, but like every little piece is perfect in the house. There's a cup of for each day of the week that you consume your coffee through. Like it's so articulated and spelled out. But if they were to change or pivot into sort of a new way of being, it would be a very long evaluation process and a slow like drip into what would be, potentially a life change for them.
Totally.
And they both relax and rest very well.
Yeah.
They can easily, we've gone on vacation with them, we've gone on trips with them, we've been in relaxation mode with them, and they're not like fixated on work.
Right.
They're present
and that is, I love being around that. Like I absolutely love it. It just anchors me in presence. And so I'm a big fan of the Taurus over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sounds like you might need some of it, right?
Yeah, right. Okay, so misunderstood or underrated aspects of the Taurus.
The misunderstood, I mean, that they are lazy. I mean, that's one of the qualities. And without taking that in the context of understanding that when they are working, they can be very fixated on anything that they are working on and can, do giant things. But then the laziness part of it is not lazy. It's that they also know how to relax.
Yeah.
That they don't like change. This is another big one. And I also should have prefaced all of this with saying that we're talking about pure energy here. And so if we're talking about a Taurus sun that's got a Sagittarius moon and we say Taurus don't like to change and they've got a Sagittarius moon, they're going to be like, you're liars, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So
it's not that Taurus don't like to change. It's that it needs to be well thought out, strategic, and purposeful. There needs to be a reason for change. And they can be adaptable during change. They just need to have a system and a routine in place.
Got it.
Yeah.
that
Got
makes
it.
sense.
Okay, anything else on Taurus?
Yeah, they love watches. By chance, do your friends, do they collect watches? They love like finer things in life.
There's a high class whiskey
Oh, yeah, or
drinking
whiskey.
and collection,
Anything for
collecting,
sensing, yeah.
And everything in their home is intentional.
Yeah.
Their interior design is it could be in a magazine, and every single piece in their home either has a story or a purpose or a home in their home. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is very purposeful. Yeah, so that, I mean, slow moving, I think it's deserving if you understand that it's not a negative thing. It's a necessary thing. So we as a collective right now would all benefit from acting like Taurus.
Totally. Thank you so much for listening.
If you enjoyed that, check out right over here for some more fun clips.
Oh, and you're going to want to subscribe.
Bye.